was just so enthralled in that, I forgot to put my mic on my head. So that was so great. Man, Travis and Liliana, I feel like I don't even need to give a message. So it's just so good from both of them, right? I love the outbreak with the plague of the Lord. So good. I am Pastor Jacob. I get the honor of hanging out with the junior hires. If there's any junior hires in here, get a shout out to those. Now you're old, Kathan. So yeah. Oh, Pete. Yes, Pete. But actually, I would specifically love to shout out our junior high leaders. If you are one of the leaders of the junior high, I'd look for you to stand. I feel like this is a good time to honor you. We got Audie and Bobby, Gregory and Colin. Yeah, because they got the real hardest job, because, I don't know if you've ever interacted with a middle schooler, but they're a lot. So they got the hardest job, and they do a great job. But today, we're going to be looking at a weird story from the Bible. And I do so love unique, overlooked, underrated stories. So who has a physical Bible today? Raise it up in the air like you just don't care. You put it up there. Who's got it with them today? I'm going to have some crowd participation today, so if you want to follow along in your actual Bible because you are holier than your neighbor, that'd be fantastic. But we're going to go into 1 Kings 20. So if someone wants to open it up, that'd be great. But I felt inspired to bring mine today. Usually I just go off my phone because it's just more convenient and I just like to roam around and all those things. But I think that this is a word for someone today that you need to be opening this Bible. Okay, you all have a Bible on your phone or your computer or whatever, but that's got distractions on it. This does not. Distraction, not. And I think that maybe is a word for all of us potentially, but I think that's for somebody specifically today. But this is what you need to be actually opening and reading when you're talking to God, because you know that this distracts you. Even though you try and you're like, oh, it's all right, I tried a little bit. This is where you need to run to for real. Your real Bible, open that one up. Word for somebody. I don't know who. I just felt like that was something I need to share today. Okay. So anyways, who's got their Bible? Who's got 1 Kings 20 open and ready to go? Kira does? Brilliant. I'm going to have you read 1 Kings 20, 35 through 37. It'll also be on the screen so everyone else of you heathens can follow along as she reads from the real Bible. 35 through 37. Oh, there you go. Good job, Dad.
By the word of the Lord, one of the company of the prophets said to his companion, "Strike me with your weapon," but he refused. So the prophet said, "Because you have not obeyed the Lord, as soon as you leave me, a lion will kill you." And after the man went away, a lion found him and killed him. The prophet found another man and said, "Strike me, please." So the man struck him and wounded him.
Brilliant. Give her a hand. Well done. Well done indeed. So there's so much more going on here in this story in 1 Kings, so much, okay? We're literally dropping in the middle of this story, okay? The prophet that says, strike me, okay? He's doing a sign to show to King Ahab at that time, and what a name is that, Ahab, okay? To get him to realize what he's doing wrong, okay? So he needed a sign, he needed to be hurt, so that could be a sign for the king to show him, okay? But today, none of that really matters, because we're going to focus on this specific interaction between prophet and lion and all of that. Now on the surface, okay, this is a bizarre and honestly terrifying story. The prophet says, hit me, strike me with your weapon. And then the other one says, no. And then the first prophet is like, okay, well, you're lion food. And then, what is even happening here? If you read that and you're like, I don't even, it doesn't seem to line up. It's like you asked your friend if they would shake your hand and then they didn't, and then you just cut off his hand. Doesn't really seem to match up, the request and the consequence. What is even going on? Okay. But there's different translations, depending on what you have in front of you, or depending on what you're looking at in front of you, unless you're looking at my version, then you just have to believe whatever I say and tell you. But some of your versions might say the word neighbor or companion or friend or another man in the underlined companion spot there. But the original in some translations also would say fellow member of the company of prophets. By the word of the Lord, one of the company of prophets said to his fellow member of the company of prophets, strike me with your weapon, and he refused. Okay? That's what it's literally saying. And what that tells me is that this was not just some random guy. Okay? He was an insider. Not the neighbor down the hall, not just any bloke who didn't know any better. Okay, he was a man of God. He was one of the prophets trained to hear the voice of God and speak it forth, trained to be sensitive to God's work, called to a higher spiritual standard. If you will, he was called to be in the supernatural rather than just the natural. But in this critical moment here, he missed it, okay? He missed it. He didn't listen to his supernatural calling. He defaulted to his natural human logic. He looked at his friend, looked at his weapon, and he let his human ethics take over instead of God's direct command. He thought to himself, I'm a good person, right? And good people don't hit their friends, right? Good people don't hit their friends. Now, maybe Cathan needs some repentance. He broke his hand out of camp. He needs help. Okay, prayer station over there for repentance later for you. They got you. Okay, but right, he probably is like, I don't hit my friends. This is what we do. God tells us to love everybody. This is what we're supposed to do. Why would I hit my fellow believer? He's being ridiculous. He's being crazy. But in essence, he thought that he knew better than God. For the first prophet, okay, I don't know why they don't have like names here. It's weird. But the first prophet was speaking as the voice of God. And he, the second one, should have recognized it. For he also spoke of the voice of God. He's trained to hear it. He knew what it sounded like. But he didn't. He didn't catch it. He missed it. And he decided to just he's like, I'm not going to hurt you. What's wrong? Don't be stupid. And what he did was natural. It's what anyone would have done, right? Like if you were there, okay, you put yourselves in those shoes and this guy comes up to you and says, hey, that sword in your hand, I need you to cut off my arm. Will you do it? And you're probably like, no, dude, like, I'm not going to hit you. I'm not going to cut off your arm. What are you talking about? Why are you asking that? Like, you're my friend. Why would I want to do that? Don't be stupid. Stop it, okay? But therein lies the problem, because as followers of Jesus, okay, like that companion, we are not called to just be anyone, to do what anyone else would have done, to be like everyone. We have been brought into the family of God, and we don't follow the natural ways any longer. The natural way of thinking. We don't think that way any longer. We no longer live in this normal, natural place. We are called to live in the supernatural, where Jesus is, right? A much better place, much nicer place, because Jesus is there. But instead, like the prophet, we so easily slip back into relying on our own natural human compass. Our own direction, whatever we want to do, whatever feels right to us, we naturally lean back into that because that's what we've always done. And to understand just how dangerous relying on your own natural compass is, let's look at what pilots call the graveyard spiral. And congratulations, that's my title of my message. Now you know. There it is. Wow. So beautiful, okay? Graveyard spiral. But here, listen, in aviation, okay? And Pete, maybe you can talk me up about it. In aviation, when a pilot flies into like a thick cloud, right? Or on a very dark night or a storm, when they lose visual reference to the ground, to the sky, all of it, they can't really see what's going on. Their inner ear, okay? The natural equilibrium that they have begins to lie to them. They might feel like they're flying level. It might seem like everything is going okay, but they could be actually tilted or turning or slanted, whatever. They're not actually going the way that they think they're going because they can't see the reference points. And so they're just flying by the seat of their pants. And that they might want to like pull back on the controls to climb or go side. It doesn't matter, whatever they do. And they could tighten this tilt, this spiral, and lead into a more deadly spiral. And then they would go down and down and down to the graveyard of death, because that's what is at a graveyard, is dead people. Okay, spiral down, graveyard. That's what could happen. In order to survive, a pilot must do something incredibly difficult, which is to ignore their natural instincts, their gut feeling, the gut reaction, and to trust the flight instruments completely, which are right in front of them. And I look at this story in First Kings, and I look at my own life, and I realize that I'm often that kind of pilot in the spiral. Or I'm just like the second prophet, relying on my own strength, my own intuition. All the time I do this, and I'm tilted and I don't even know it. I'm spinning out of control and I don't even know it. Trying to do things my own way, and I'm just tightening this spiral. And I justify it. I say, well, God gave me my brain, right? He gave me that. God gave me this body. It works. God gave me all of my experiences that led me to be who I am now. He expects me to use them, right? He wants me to use what he's created. Like, let me use what I gave you. He designed me this way on purpose. And like, all of that is true, right? Like, he gave me my brain, right? He gave me this body, gave me the experiences. All true. But the trap is when we just stop right there. And that's enough. Oh, yeah, you gave me the brain. Now I can just, whatever I think is right. Because you gave it to me, so it must think right all the time. When we just stop right there, we become comfortable with just relying on our own capacities. And we completely forget to seek out God's counsel. Or if you will, we try to fly the plane of your own life based on just the gut feelings that you have, your own past experiences, instead of looking at the instruments that are right in front of you, as in God is right there. The direction, the level, God, right in front of you. Look everywhere else. God. And we are so wired to hustle, to fix things, to take charge, that kind of like sitting on the sidelines and watching someone else pilot our plane makes us feel like we're failing. You're like, I should be enough. Like, I've trained for this. I've gone through some things. I know what to do. I read the word. I should know. I'm good enough. I can fly my own plane, God. Step aside. Let me do it. Like, if I'm not in control, it feels like I'm doing something wrong. If I'm not the one pulling the levers, I'm going to drop out of the sky. We have to learn that in God's kingdom, this like sitting on the sidelines, right? And waiting and watching, it isn't laziness or failure. It's a form of obedience. It's a choice to stop moving and wait until the Creator says, go. In fact, we learned this from our camp speaker, Trent, just these past couple of weeks, that sometimes the most obedient thing and most courageous thing you can ever do is to just literally do nothing and wait till God speaks. Literally that. He spoke that to us. And you say like this, you'd say, God, I need help. I need direction. Good start. And then you step back and you say, that right there that I asked you about, I'm not even going to touch it until you say something. And think about how hard that is, right? I mean, that's a hard thing, right? We want to be the ones who get things done, right? We want to be the ones with the answers, right? We got the Oracle of Google right here. We can always just have the answer whenever we want, pull it up. I know what to do now because YouTube told me what to do. I can solve all my problems all by myself. I don't need anybody. I can be in control. Anybody else? Just me? YouTube, so much. I solve all my problems. But if we don't wait for his voice, and we just keep grabbing the controls in a panic, and we're spiraling, we don't know what's going on, we've got to do something, the silence is killing me, I need to fill the void with my voice, because I just can't handle it. Listen, if you're in a season where you don't know what to do next, which is probably all of us, because we don't know, where things seem unclear, clear as mud, if you will, the most spiritual thing you can do is just hold your position. Stay in your seat. Wait for the cabin lights to come on, unbuckle, whatever, analogies. Wait for the door to open. Do not move. Do not force. Do not help God out. To get the answer you want, just wait until he speaks. And actually, I have a funny story about this in my own life. I did this, literally did this. I had a thing and I said, God, I want you to answer it, so I'm going to wait here for you to answer it. Literally did this, okay? When I was a teenager, apparently I was crazy about girls. Anyone else? Lucas? Yeah. Okay, I see it. Okay, crazy about girls, whatever. But there was a girl in high school, and we met at camp. The best place to meet a long-distance relationship. Oh, yeah. Especially at 14 years old. Nothing like it. So good. So good, okay? Anyway, we kind of liked each other. Whatever, we just met at camp. Known each other for like 2 minutes. Like, oh, I love you so much, okay? Must work. But we liked each other a little bit. But we knew God. Right, we're at camp. And I said, listen, let's pray about this. Let's see what God says. See if he has something from this. Right? Very spiritual, okay? Very cool. That's what the girls want, okay? Mark that down, Lucas. That's what they want. They want a guy that seeks the Lord, waits for his answer, okay? Mark that down on your brain notes, okay? But I said to God, literally, I said this to God. I said, here's the deal. I want to know if I should date this girl. So I said, I'm going to go into my basement. Do you guys know what a basement is here? It's one of those things underneath a house, right? And I lived in Iowa, and we did that because we had a thing called tornadoes. You guys know what that is? It's one of those spinny, whirly death things outside where you get sucked up into it and you hit a cow and you die. So in order to avoid that, you go underground where it's safe. Yeah. I assumed you guys all knew that, but that'd be funnier to say that way. Okay. Anyways, I said, I'm going to go to my basement. Okay. And here's the deal, God. If my dog comes and finds me in the next 30 minutes, then I will know that I should date her. Pretty good, right? Okay. Putting God on challenge like that. Always a win. Always. Okay. And I'll be real, okay? My dog, Toby, he was awesome, little miniature schnauzer, okay? He was great. And he was known to just come find me if I wasn't like nearby. So I was setting myself up for success, right? I was like, this is probably going to happen. Like, she's very pretty, so I need to make sure this happens for me, okay? Setting myself up for success. But I got down there in the basement, right? Got my timer ready to go. And I waited. Started sweating, getting nervous. Time's almost up. What am I going to do, God? Oh, my goodness. And the tragic part is that I took it all into my own hands and I whistled. And he came. My dog came down. He came down. And I was like, look, God, he showed up. He's here. That must mean you want me to date her, because that's what I said. And he came. I mean, I did a little bit, but don't even worry about that. Just ignore that a little bit there. He came down. This is what you want from me. I knew it. I just wanted you to come alongside my decision that I already knew. Thank you for agreeing with me. Okay. And we tried, right? 14 long distance didn't even work out. Okay. It's because God didn't say yes, right? I said yes and just really wanted God to come on board with my decision. Okay. True story. That actually happened, 100%. Okay? But I started off right? I believed that God would answer. I had a little bit of skewed because I was like, I think that it'll work out in my favor because the dog loves me and wants to come see me. But I was ready. I was like, I'm going to wait for you to answer me. But it just didn't get the answer that I was hoping for. And so I did what I had to get the answer that I wanted, to take the controls back into my own hands. I let him go, and then it's not working, God. She's so hot, I just have to. Okay, my turn, right? I'm sure I thought that actually when I was 14, because hormones and stuff. So don't be like me. Well, be kind of like me, right? Wait on God for answers, but actually listen when he does or doesn't answer. Now, we're going to look at a different story from the Bible. Someone wants to open up Numbers 20. Apparently, everything's in 20 right now. Numbers 20, earlier in the Bible. I would love to have somebody read this for me as well. If someone has it ready to go, in Numbers 20, I will have Mike ready for you. Somebody right here? Oh, but you have a not physical Bible. Wow, Graham, we're in prayer for Graham right now in the name of Jesus. Okay. Anybody got it ready? I feel like you're almost ready. Numbers 20. Numbers 20. You ready? 7 through 12. Hold the mic.
And the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, take the staff and assemble the congregation, you and Aaron your brother, and tell the rock before their eyes to yield its water. So you shall bring water out of the rock for them and give drink to the congregation and their cattle. And Moses took the staff from before the Lord as he commanded him. Then Moses and Aaron gathered the assembly together before the rock, and he said to them, hear now, you rebels, shall bring water for you out of this rock. Through 11. And Moses lifted up his hand and struck the rock with his staff twice, and water came out abundantly, and the congregation drank and their livestock. And the Lord said to Moses and Aaron, because you did not believe in me, to uphold me as holy in the eyes of the people of Israel. Therefore you shall not bring this assembly into the land that I have given them.
Oh, give him a hand. That was so good. Well done. And he did that one-handed because he broke his hand at camp. Because, for real, who was praying for him, right? Come on, guys. Not enough. More spiritual. Come on. Okay. I bet you guys have heard this one before. I bet. Okay. Or at the very least, you know who Moses is. Give me a nod if you know who Moses is in the Bible. Anybody? But dead stares. Got it. Love it. None of you know who Moses is. Well, I'll tell you. Okay. Moses, he's the real deal, right? He's the one who got everybody out of Egypt. He's the one that God called and said, you'll take them out of there. You'll send forth all these plagues on them. You'll part the waters. You'll take them everywhere and you will be in the promised land. It is foretold you will do this. But we see this amazing man of God miss the mark. Right? The people in this story, like right before this, they're thirsty. And then when they're thirsty, they're just so whiny and complaining as they do. And Moses asks God, he's like, what am I supposed to do with these people you've given me? They're just whiners. What do you want? What do they want from me? I don't know where the water is. What am I supposed to do, God? And, right, he tells Moses to speak to the rock, right? And water will come out of it. Pretty straightforward. Right? He's like, hear ye, boulder, spit forth thine precious fluids. That's what I imagine Moses talking like, I guess. Anyways, he's like, just speak to the rock, water will come out. Done deal. However, this is not what happens in this story here. For some reason, Moses hits the rock instead of speaking to it. And you might be wondering why. And you're like, Jacob, why? Why is that there? Well, good for you. I am going to tell you why, because that's my whole purpose of being up here, to tell you why. Okay? Got it. Because 30 years earlier, in Exodus 17, the same exact situation occurs. Identical, okay? The people are thirsty. They whine and complain as the good old Israelites do. That's all they do. It's just whine. They're just a bunch of whiners. No wonder Moses is like, God, what am I supposed to do with these people? Gosh, what is going on here? Okay? He asks God, he's like, what do I do? What do I do? And God tells Moses, strike the rock. 30 years earlier, strike the rock and water will come out of it. And that's what happens. Moses strikes the rock, water comes out. And so 30 years later, we see in Numbers, we see Moses just reverting back to the same old solution that worked before. He just copy pasted. And he's like, this must be it. Even though God said something different. You know, it's just a little bit different, but it's enough different. He thought, well, this worked. Let's do that again. Like, God was with us in that. God told me to strike the rock. It worked. He was with us that. Let's do that again. He was with us then. He will be with us now. He was like, you know what, God? I hear you. You're saying you will provide water for us. awesome. If I recall how this works, okay, I hit the rock. It's awesome, spectacular. Water gushes out, okay, no problem. I got this. Step back, Lord. Watch the magic happen. I've got this staff of power, and it does great things. Okay? And it happens, right? Water comes out. He probably hits it more majestic than that. Okay. But how often is that true with us? Where we naturally revert back to just what has worked before. Right? In fact, like our brains naturally do this. We got the neural pathways, right? Where we have these habits that are built up that our brain literally makes happen so that we don't have to think about it. It just naturally happens because you've done it before and your body's like, I don't want to work so hard because our bodies are lazy. Our minds are lazy. And they're like, yeah, that worked. Do that all the time. Just do that over and over and over again because that was what worked. We naturally do that. Do the thing, get the result, happy day, done. Less work for me. So what Moses did was natural. It's what anyone would have done. I mean, if it ain't broke, like, why fix it? Worked before. Try it again. But therein lies the problem because we are not called to just follow the natural, same old thing. We're called to follow the supernatural. We're called to follow God. We're not called to just look at our life and go, okay, well, let's pick and this one worked that one time. Okay, there we go. God was with us, so he'll be with us again. And then we're just constantly looking down at our decisions we've made and everything we've done. And we never take the time to actually look up and say, okay, God, what's the plan? We want to be in the lead. We want to go like, this worked, God, come on. Come with me. I know how this goes. And here's a bit of a scary thing about God. He is so merciful to his people that he will still let the water gush out, the water come forth, even when we disobey and choose our own path. And I mean, like the thirsty Israelites, like they still got water, right? But the Israelites' point of view, Moses succeeded. He did it. He saved the day. We can shower again, finally. They probably drank it. I don't know. Maybe they showered. But God was not pleased with Moses' actions. In fact, that moment cost Moses the entrance to the promised land. Verse 12, that's where it says that God says, you did messed up. You're no longer going to get this blessing that I gave you. The thing that God had said, like, you are going to take these people out of here and here's what's to come, the promised land flowing with milk and honey. And who knows what that means, but he was like, I'm all for it. Here we go. That's where I want to be. That's where I want to go. Probably the thing Moses was looking forward to most in his life because he had to deal with these whiners, right? And he's like, I just can't wait to just be swimming in milk, whatever that means, okay? He's probably jazzed about it, so excited about it, and he loses it. Lost to him forever because he took control. And he did what he thought was best, something that just worked, that was just good enough. Worked before, it'll work again. You said, that's okay, I know what you really meant. And this might be happening to you right now. You know, you're using a fleshy formula. It's working. Why stop? It's getting me the result I want. Why bother changing? It's like there's nothing to. It's working. Keep going. Okay. Maybe you're using control to get your way at work. And it works, right? Maybe you're still living in sin, but you're still getting blessed. So I guess this is okay to keep because things are still working for me over here. I can just keep this right here, right in the background. God probably says, listen, I gave Paul a thorn in his flesh, so this is your thorn in your flesh. Just keep that right here. It's okay. Still working. Or maybe you use manipulation to keep peace in your home. Works. Anger to get your kids to listen. Works. It's all working. The water is gushing. So God must be cool with this. God's on board with my actions, my decisions. But just because God loves his people and lets good things happen through bad things and sinful people, broken, sinful people. That's all of you, me. We're all sinful, broken people, and he uses us, okay? It does not mean that you are in right relationship with him just because something good happens. And what I'm saying to you is, I don't know about you, but that should be a little worrying thought. If good things are happening and there's still something in the background that you probably know you shouldn't be doing, what is God going to take? What's your promised land that you're missing out on? Because you think it's okay, God's on board. I mean, seriously, look at Moses, right? He's the one. He's the one to save them all, to lead them to the promised land. It was foretold, right? Like it was said to you, you will do this. It will happen. God, I say you will do this. And he just loses it all because he decided that he knew best. What worked before, it's good enough. He was so busy relying on his old natural ways that he stopped being a servant of God and started acting like a God. And if we aren't careful, we can fall into the exact same pattern in our everyday lives. Maybe you're facing like a genuine crisis, right? Bills are piling up, feeling behind in life. And your natural instinct is to cut corners. And maybe some of you need to cut some things out because you're like, no, I spend just so much money on fast food all the time. I just need to cut some of those out. So there's good things in that. We start to cut corners. Maybe you think my tithe, right? My giving to the Lord, it's a lot. Like that, if I had that back, then, I could pay all my bills. No problem. And so you compromise your integrity. Or maybe you're like, it doesn't really matter that much if I don't scan everything at the self-checkout. Anyone? It's like, that camera probably didn't see me. I put two items together and blocked one, and so it counted. You're like, I just don't have the money, right? God will understand, and right, you get the result. You're able to pay the bills. But you've just traded a temporary fix, a temporary comfort for true peace and your integrity. Because you said, oh, it doesn't really matter. No one even saw it. I still wrote all of our names down. It's okay, even though they said, only if you play. You gotta ask yourself, are you willing to be broke and totally reliant on God's provision? Or are you just too afraid to let go? Let God, because that happens, I can't, I don't know where I'm going. Or maybe someone misjudges you or spreads a half-truth about you, and naturally you go into defense mode. You're like, yeah, I'm coming for you. Listen, they said this, but this is what's about them, and you get into anger, like you lash out, you write the book-long text to all your friends, you post the cryptic message on the Facebook, as Pastor George likes to say, or you went to anybody who will listen, and you just complained and said, listen about them, then me, not them, me, okay? To make sure that they knew that you're the good guy and they are the bad guy. Brought yourself way up here, bringing the other person way down here. I'm good, they're bad. And it works. The people believe you. They're like, yeah, you're right. I can see that in them, and I can see how great you are. You won. You're awesome. Wow, so great. But did you trust God to defend your name? The righteous judge, the one who really only can judge? Did you trust him? Or are you just so terrified of looking bad? You're like, I always wear my good shirts when I come to church. I don't want anyone to know that actually deep down I'm really not doing that great and I'm failing and I'm messing everything up. Don't want to look bad. Can't do that. So terrified of that you took the sword right out of God's hands and you used it yourself right? Oh, no, not me, and then this person over here, and they're bad over there, but I was defending myself over here, and you just start cutting away, and you're slashing out, saying whatever comes to your mind, whatever works, all in order for you to feel better. Because that's the most important thing, right? I just need to feel good, and that's it. That's the way of the world, especially today. Maybe you're in a season of waiting, okay? You're not sure what's next. You're waiting for the angel of the Lord to drop in the heavenly hottie, right? Oh God, I can't wait. I'm 14 years old. When's it coming? Or you're just waiting for like a career path to change. You're not sure what's next. It's not really working right here. It's a little toxic. I need to get out of this. Okay, God, what's next? Or maybe you're just waiting for direction in your life, whatever. And it feels empty. It's not working. There's a void. And naturally, you decide, I'm done waiting. So you settle for the hottie with the body, but there's no heaven in her. No heavenly hottie. That's like kind of funny and serious at the same time. I love that. Or you dive into like a career you know will drain your soul, but it just pays so good. And it's so expensive here in California, I have to have the money. Have to. So it's such a good job, even though I know that it's a toxic, terrible place, but it's the job. I'll do it. It's the first door that opened up. I'll just walk through it. I can't wait that long. Can't be here that long. I'm not strong enough to stay here that long, God. And it looks like progress from the outside. Must be God's will. Things are working. Must be God. There's a job. There's that. Must be God. That girl winked at me. Must be God. That's all it takes. Us boys are weak. Yeah. Ask yourself, okay, are you moving because God said, go? Are you moving because you are afraid of being still in the desert with him? Because that's where that is. Desert, there's nothing there. It's not working. It's empty. It's void. Can't handle the awkward silence. Got to fill it with my voice. Whatever I say. Now look at your life and you ask yourself this question, okay? When was the last time I actually heard God speak? Look at your life. Look in there, okay? Look in your life. When was the last time you actually heard God speak? Okay? And not necessarily like audible, whatever. When you heard God and you're like, this is God giving me direction. When was the last time that happened for you personally? If the answer is, I don't know, or I can't remember, or too long, or never, then you need to stop and look at your hands. Because right now, you're in the cockpit. You are holding the wheels. You're the one with all the power. And that's a dangerous place to be. Because when you're in the cockpit, you are flying blind into the storm, trusting your own equilibrium to guide you. And you don't know where you're going. You might think you do, but you don't. You think you know best. Things might even work out. You're like, I haven't crashed yet. Still good to go. Things are working. But in the cockpit, holding the wheel, you are all alone. It's just you. And truly, like, you don't even have your pilot's license, okay? In comparison to God, you're like the amateurist flyer of all time, okay? You don't even know what to do. Amateur, all alone. And alone we fail. Alone we crash. Alone we repeat the same exhausting, destructive mistakes over and over and over and over again. And you ask yourself, why do I keep doing this, God? Why can't I escape? I know you told me to be over here, but I just can't do it. What's the deal, God? What am I doing wrong? And look at your hands. You're holding the wheel. We have to stop trying to live supernatural lives with our own natural human strength, our own strength. Why don't you stand with me today? We're nearing the end here. We have to stop trying to live natural lives with natural strength, with our own strength, relying on our own experiences, using methods that are just good enough, that worked before. Today, Jesus is asking you to step out of the pilot's seat. He's asking you to let go of the reins that are blistering your hands. He's asking you to do the hardest, most supernatural thing that you can do, which is to trust him, submit to him, wait on him, let go. You're holding on so tightly because you're afraid of letting go. Let go. Proverbs 3, 5, and 6 says, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways, submit to him, and he will make your path straight. Trust in the Lord. He will make your path straight. Don't trust in your own understanding and you will make your path straight. You're on this crooked, windy path. You don't even know where to go. Because this says, I need to go there, I need to go there. This lies to you. Your brain lies to you. It tells you what you want to hear. It uses your own experiences and says, use that again, do that again. But God says, no, I've got a different path to you. Just listen to me. I know where we need to go. I've got my pilot's license. So church, lay down your understanding. Stop running your same old formulas. Get out of your own head. Get out of the cockpit and let the living God take the wheel and make your path straight.